Hi, my rays of light, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Nick Cannon. Now, the reason that I'm doing it right now is because I've talked about Nick when I've spoken about him on the Nipsey Hussle reading that I did. Now, a lot of people have thought that maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, that what I said, about Nipsey Hussle being taken out was due to the fact of, this Dr. Sebi film that he was working on, this documentary, and they wanted to silence him. And who wanted to silence him? The pharmaceuticals. Well, yesterday I had one of my viewers send me a post that said that Nick Cannon had received death threats and that he had pulled out of doing the Dr. Sebi's documentary film. And later I posted that on my Instagram story and on YouTube, because that's what I had saw. I don't see, when I originally did the reading for Nipsey, I didn't see Nick Cannon finishing the movie or proceeding through with it. Again, future-oriented things can change due to people's free will. Now, Nick Cannon posted on his Instagram that was a false rumor, and he's going to continue with it. And he can say that, but what I get spiritually is something totally different. And I respect Nick, and I think he has a beautiful family with Mariah. They were together at one time. They have two beautiful children. He has a child or two from, he has children from someone else as well, I believe, another child out there. So he has family, and he's a young, talented man. I have nothing against Nick Cannon when it comes to, who he is and what he's doing. I think it's very commendable that he's doing this, or wanting to complete, where Nipsey left off and kind of finish this documentary. But when I get into it, I can't lie, when I get into the psychic insights of what I see for him, I feel like a lot of this that is going on is like the people are kind of supporting him. People want him to finish, and then there's a lot of people that are feeling like it's disrespectful because, Nipsey was the one that was doing it, and maybe people feel like he should just drop it. Some people feel like he's doing it all for clout, and he's just, doing this because he wants the attention. I don't feel like he's doing it for the clout or for the attention. I do feel like maybe he is being a little genuine in wanting to finish it. But the thing here is that I see a lot of darkness surrounding Nick. If he has two different paths, one that is being shown to me, and this is just psychic insights, if he continues down this path, there are signs. Now, this is a rumor, right? Okay, but these pharmaceutical companies that are very, very huge and very, very powerful and have so many connections, that's how they will work. Before any project is completed, they will pay these online sources to come up with these rumors, quote unquote, rumors about, him kind of pulling out and stuff. And these are kind of like warnings for those people that are spiritually awoken. This is what they do to celebrities. They will try to come at Nick with everything they got. And so I don't doubt that he's fearless and he wants to, his heart is in the right place and he wants to finish this. But pharmaceutical companies are very powerful, and we've seen it time and time again with a lot of the naturopathic doctors. They just don't, get to that level of doing things. There's been a lot of naturopathic doctors that have died, quote unquote, from mysterious illnesses or mysterious ways, or just disappeared completely, because they were promoting, nature, ways of curing diseases and stuff that doesn't require the pharmaceutical companies. So the question is here, what do I see for Nick? Should he continue? What I see is like this is a warning, like a trigger warning for Nick. Whatever was put out into the media, whether it's a rumor about the death threats, it's already being put out. So he needs to take it very seriously and proceed with caution if he does want to continue down this path on filming this movie, this documentary, and getting it out. I do foresee that there's going to be a lot of people coming for him if he continues down this path. This would be partly the pharmaceuticals, and then people that, again, that were Nipsey, hardcore Nipsey fans, that may feel like he is not the right person. Again, this is just their preconceived notion, or their own beliefs or opinions, that Nick Cannon is not the person for this film. But primarily my main concern are these big pharmaceutical companies, because I really do feel like they are going to come after Nick with everything they got. And I'm not someone that's fearful. I have a lot of faith in God and whatnot, and my angels, but I really am kind of scared for Nick, at this point. I know that he can do it and he wants to do it, but he has a beautiful family to look after. And so that's what they'll do. They will kind of put all these ads, or these stories, that will write these tabloids, and they pay these tabloids to write all these stories. And so they will do and hire private investigators, and they will hire people to kind of that really would know dirt about him and kind of bring that to the surface. So there's going to be a lot of scandals if that one path that I'm shown, if he continues down this path to finish that documentary, there's going to be a lot of different headlines being exposed, and there could be also a setup, not necessarily where people are saying that they're trying to threaten to murder him, but it could be more of like a setup to get him involved in some huge legal action that will kind of delay or stop this documentary. So I do see that there would be some legal things that can come up within the next 2 years. That's the time frame that I feel like right now that he may be pushing or aiming towards to get this documentary out. It could be anywhere between now and 2 years. It could be sooner. However, I don't feel like it would have the impact, or it wouldn't be rolled out to like major cinema theaters out there, like like a mainstream movie, kind of like the movies that are released right now, like The Intruder and other movies like that. It may just be like more of a Netflix thing, but we will have to see, because it's going to take a lot of producers. It takes producers. It takes money, a lot of money, and Nick Cannon has money, and he knows connections and producers. But the question is here: would producers want to line up for this documentary themselves and put themselves in the line? As we go back to Lisa Left Eye Lopez, she was one that was had gone on a sabbatical down to Honduras, and look what happened to her. And then, Dr. Sebi, what happened to him with the Honduran government and the U.S. government as well. So, there's a lot of, that's the one path that I see. There is danger if he continues down this path for this movie. I don't feel like he's going to possibly finish it. Now, again, anything can change at this point, and I'm not trying to be negative or being against, because I have no reason. I don't even know Nick. I think he's great, and one of my favorite singers is Mariah Carey, and she's a legend. That's my all-time favorite singer. So I just don't see him completing the movie. I feel like he is going to definitely back out. Right now, I don't feel like he's able to do that or wants to do that, because it's too fresh since Nipsey, and there's so many people that are kind of writing or kind of supporting him very, very hugely for this documentary that he wants to continue. The other path is that he kind of he doesn't go with finishing this film, and he stops it, and he kind of just continues on his career path that he's on now. He's going to have less trouble, and he is going to kind of have other projects and roles and stuff. But I feel like he is going to try to continue to push through with this movie until a certain point is reached within the next 2 years, that he may just decide to hand it over to someone else, or kind of maybe not even finish it. And people will judge him for that. Regardless, you're in this society that we live in today. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. The best advice I could give to Nick, if I was his spiritual advisor, would be to follow his heart and just do what he feels is the best thing for him. But know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to resist and these are people that are with the pharmaceutical companies that are going to resist and kind of prevent him from wanting to get this out at all costs. And that's what I keep hearing, at all costs. So whether this is not necessarily maybe hurting him in some kind of way physically, there could be other ways that they can try to hurt him, which would be like to fabricate stories or pay people to kind of fabricate a lie. Because one of the things that kept coming in was this, there was someone that was younger, and I just keep hearing younger, and I see it's a female, and accusing him of doing something. This could be like sexual assault, etc. So again, there are fabrications and things that people will be lying about Nick Cannon, and I don't feel like he is a sexual, he would be doing those kind of things to people. I don't see that. He has a good heart, but I do foresee, and I do see visions of those kind of headlines and those kind of things coming forth. So again, he just has to watch his back if he wants to continue down this path. As a spiritual advisor, I cannot tell him, I could not tell my client, don't do this or don't do that. But I really would not encourage this to continue, because again, I feel like there's going to be repercussions from it, and that's what I see, a lot of battles that lie ahead for him. Right now I see that there is a lot of magical protection around Nick, so he is spiritual. I do feel like he does believe that there is more to this world than just we live and die, and he does have a strong faith in God. But I also feel like there is some magical protection, and this would be a female that it protects him. So this could be like somebody that is into hoodoo as well, someone that is into magic. There's some element of protection against around him that is kind of protecting him at this point, but it won't protect him from these pharmaceutical companies, and I'm just saying that. So right now I see him doing some traveling within the next couple of months, going into next year. There's a lot of busy projects that he's going to be on, involving his music, involving TV, involving this documentary. I also feel like there's going to be a brief period within the next by September. In September, for some reason, I feel like he's going to feel a little bit kind of needing to take some time for himself going into October. So like September and October, maybe some months that he decides to kind of maybe take a few days off and kind of seclude himself in his home, or spend quality time with his family. And I don't feel like he's like the only one. I mean, I don't feel like I'm the only one or other people out there that really are concerned for Nick and that really like Nick, that are the only ones that are saying, don't do this film. I feel like there's a lot of people that are telling him, even maybe in his own family, that have said, Nick, really and truly, you should really not go through with this, because again, and it may not even be in his family, it could be people in his social circle that are kind of whispering, hey Nick, you really shouldn't do this film, you really shouldn't complete it, because again, there's danger that lies ahead. And then I see him kind of, communicating with someone that he cares about. This could be a partner that he has in his life. It could even be his baby mama, it could be Mariah, but there is some communication here. There's some feelings like this person needs him in some kind of way, but he cannot fully correspond to this person the way that they need him to, because there's a lot of things that are hidden, that are not being said, that he can't really verbalize. I feel like there's so many layers to him that he really can't show the same affection that that they maybe give to him. It's not reciprocated when it comes to Nick for some reason, and there's just a lot of focus on the money right now. This is what I see for him, is like he is very focused on getting his coins at all costs, and basically, whatever project or things that are thrown at him, he's a workaholic. He will work very hard to achieve that success, and so I see, that he is going to continue to have financial success, but there is battles that are up ahead, and this is going to affect his relationship with his kids eventually, and his his ex Mariah, and then his other ex, people, other women in his life. There, when it comes to his love life, I don't feel like he's gonna be in a long-term relationship, and be married long-term and have happiness. There's always going to be a cycle or a pattern with him. But I do get that he is very much wanting to be happy, and that's something that he kind of finds happiness through his work. It's kind of weird for me to say that, but through his work and his music, and just having a connection to Mariah and his kids. He has happiness through that, even if it's snippets. But I feel like the people that are maybe on his team that are encouraging to do the documentary, yeah, I wouldn't suggest for him to continue on that path, not because I don't want him to finish that documentary. I am all for it. I want this film to come out. I feel like it's definitely needs to be seen, because I do feel like a lot, and I do agree that a lot of these pharmaceuticals are using substances and drugs that are doing more harm to humanity than traditional herbal remedies and treatments and things of that nature. So we'll have to see. A lot of people that will be tuning into this right now may say, oh, well, you're just not a Nick fan, and that's not the case. But when there is tea, and there is tea from spirit, and then there is insight, I'm going to be that guy that's on YouTube that's going to speak his heart and his mind and soul out. And regardless of anybody doesn't agree or doesn't like it, well, too bad. I'm not doing this to hurt Nick in any kind of way, but just kind of give insight, because I really genuinely care about him and what he is doing, and I just feel a lot of fear when it comes to this film that he would be taking on. So the one thing that I see here is that it just needs to be very, very careful, because again, there's going to be signs, and this first rumor that came out is one of those signs, and I would not be surprised if the pharmaceutical companies actually fabricated this story. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you'd like to set up a psychic reading with me, you can go to my website at www.raymondguzman.net/shop. I am running a sale, 20% off of all of my readings until the 31st. Just use promo code birthday20 upon checkout. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.